you feel like you're not living your ideal life? You're constantly miserable. You have no friends. You're ugly. You're poor. You're bored. You have no purpose. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of tips from my perspective to help you out of your funk and change your life. First step that you want to do when you're changing your life is to work on your outward appearance. You can do this without spending a lot of money. You can change your hair, paint your nails, file your nails, exfoliate your body, have a body care routine, take care of your hygiene, your teeth, shave. Those little body care or self-care things that you do to take care of your outer appearance can definitely change the way you feel about yourself. Also, it can just change the way people pursue you and approach you. It's just good to look good, People say, oh, you don't need to look good, you just need to be good. No, looking good is a big part of it. It's not all about looks, but when you look good and you feel good, you radiate good energy. If you think you're the hottest person with the cutest outfit on, people are going to be like, she's confident, she's rocking that. Number 2 is internal confidence. It's one thing to be pretty, but if you're a mean person on the inside, there's no point. Like I said, it's good to take care of your looks and to feel confident, but you also want to feel confident inside. Changing your looks, you can do that overnight. But internal confidence can take time. You want to practice affirmations, self-love, stop comparing yourself to other people, find out who you are as a person, your purpose, and just feel good on the inside. Get rid of all the negative energy like jealousy and anger and hate and being mean to other girls or other people in general. Radiate from the inside out. You could be pretty, but negative energy, people will still pick up on that. So you want to be just don't worry about other people. Just focus on who you are in the inside and not think about other people. It's that simple. You really want to focus on who you are, your affirmations, your self-love, not be worried about what other people are doing with their looks or their aesthetic or who they are. Number 3 is boundaries and relationships. This is another important part. You can be very pretty with good confidence, but if you let people walk all over you and treat you bad, like you get in toxic relationships that don't serve you, or you have horrible friends, then again, it's no point. These things all align. You want to cut off those negative people. Get out of those toxic relationships. It's easier said than done, but it is important to find a way out of it and find someone who inspires you and elevates you and pushes you. So if someone is disrespecting you, even at work, your friends or family or anything, learn to stick up for yourself and tell them to stop. Create boundaries so that they won't be such a horrible person to you. It's important to you gotta learn to defend yourself in this world. So having those boundaries and defending yourself against toxic, negative people is so important, because not only does it make you feel confident and stronger, make your life easier. You won't have to deal with these people. So have boundaries. This takes a lot of work and effort. Like when you find someone disrespecting you, or you find that your boyfriend isn't treating you the way you desire, it takes a lot of courage and effort to be like, I'm done, and cut them off. It takes patience. That is another key point of this. To level up, you need to cut those toxic, negative people out if you find that when you're trying to do better, they're pulling you down. Number 4, this is finances. And now you can do number 1 through 3 without having good finances or with having good finances. This one is just really important all around. This is probably the most important one. Having money is so important. So you want to learn how to budget your money, save your money, and how to spend it correctly. You don't want to be overspending and not making enough, or not paying your bills and ruining your credit. I could do a longer video on finances because it's such an in-depth thing that took me about a year to get into a routine of doing. You want to start having a savings account. So start saving money. Stop spending it on stupid things like coffees. Coffee is important. Maybe something different. Don't spend it on stupid stuff that you're not going to use. I always make a list of the stuff that I want, and if I decide oh, I don't really need this, I'll take it off the list. That way I can just not have impulse spending and I can save more money. Another thing is budgeting. I budget all my money on Google Sheets, so I know where all my money is going and how much I'm getting. So that is super important. You don't want to overspend. Like, you don't. It's really difficult, but it's so important to track where everything is going, because then you'll be left with no money, and you don't want that. You want to have some savings. You want to have control of your money, because if you don't, you can be pretty, you can have confidence, but if you have no money, it really takes a toll on your mental. Like, it takes a toll. You're like, what's the point of life if I don't have money, right? Plus, you just need money for experiences and to live life, and also to look better and to feel better. Another point is credit cards. Do not max out your credit cards. Like I said, I'm going to do a different video on this, but if you're spending more than 30% on your credit card, then you're not doing that correctly. Amex literally tells me right before I get to the 30% mark, or the 10% mark. For me, I don't like to go over 10%. I like to only spend what I know I can pay back in full each month, which is about $200. So if I know I can only spend $200, I don't spend more than $200. I may spend $50 and pay it off by the next month, but I don't spend no more than what I know I can pay at the end of the month. It took me a lot of time to organize my finances in a way that works for me. You don't have to go to college to have a good education. You can go to trade schools, you can take courses, you can read books. I just mean, don't be on social media all day and not learning new things. You know, you don't want to be the person who just stops learning things right after they graduate. Like, that makes no sense. I like to read for fun. I like to learn so many things just because I feel like you never know. It could give you an idea or give you some creativity in the future. You may have read a book about science 10 years ago, and now you get this idea of a new business idea with science in it. You never know. So it's always good to learn, and it's just also good to stimulate your brain and to just get off of social media. It makes you feel more smarter, and in turn, it makes you more confident. So I recommend getting some books or doing a course. You could do Harvard courses or any course and learn. Like, don't just be on social media on the shade room wasting away. Next up is hobbies and learning. I just talked about this, but hobbies are important as much as reading and getting an education. You want to have things that you like to do outside of work. You don't want to just go to work, go to work, go to work. If you work in a PR agency, maybe you want to do skiing on the side, or if you work as a fitness instructor, maybe you want to do painting on the side. It's the same as reading a book. It teaches you things, it stimulates your brain, it makes you smarter and just way more powerful and confident. It makes you a more well-rounded person, instead of just being, oh, I've been on TikTok for 4 hours. Like, no, we don't want that. We want to be out living life and doing things, not just being stuck on social media. Last one, which is literally what I was just talking about, is cutting out social media. You do not want to be on social media 24/7. I have had a love-hate relationship with like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and all. Not YouTube, because I feel like it's a little bit different, but those social medias have hard for me to find my way on them, because one minute I love it and I think the content is funny and hilarious, and the next minute I'm arguing with some random person online, or I'm getting upset about some comments online. And it's hard to balance it, but I realize if you're on it too much, that's when it gets too much in your brain. Constantly spending hours on TikTok, I feel like for me, TikTok made me lose my authenticity. Like, you see all these girls getting the same things on Amazon, the same style, the same things that get them likes and get them praise for. And then you're like, maybe I should do that then. Or maybe everyone else is doing this, so I should do it. And it's like, no, you don't need to be doing that. Like, you don't have to follow what everyone else is doing. So I feel like TikTok really made me lose my authentic touch, because everyone else was doing things. And those things were getting millions of likes. So I'm like, FOMO, like missing out on something. So I try to not use social media. I do not use TikTok or Twitter. I only use Instagram and YouTube. Instagram is more private. I don't really post for other people. I post for myself on a private account. So it's a little different for me, but still, it still has that dopamine rush where you post and you get likes and you get excited and you get addicted to that. You kind of want to cut that out as well. You know, using it for about 15 minutes to 30 minutes a day is okay, but if you're on it consistently, checking the shade room consistently, if you're checking updates on drama pages consistently, then you're losing out on your life. You're not focusing on your life. You're focusing on social media and the toxicity of it all. Another thing is to cut out the news. I just cut out the news, but we are not programmed to learn about people dying every day. You know, we're the only recent generation getting news. Like even the 1900s, they would get their weekly newspaper every once a week and they'll read about everything. We're getting news as soon as it happens. If a shooting happens, we're getting updates while the shooting is happening. On the second bullet. Like, we are not programmed to be like that. We don't need to know these things. It causes us to live in fear and to constantly feel like we're in a horrible, like the earth is on fire, like everything is negative. News channels use these tactics, these fear tactics, to make us fearful, and that makes us read the news because we feel like we need to be updated consistently, and that's not the case. You don't need to know about Doja Cat, what she's doing, or where Ariana Grande is going, or that a car crash happened in New York. Like, I don't need to know that, but they do it because they want you to click on their website and give them money. But for us, it's just a toxic cycle of thinking we need to know this, or this is drama, this is something interesting that we need to read about, and then we just feel depressed and negative, like everything is pointless. So cut out the news and cut out social media. The news, as in the shade room, the neighborhood talk, TMZ, Pop Crave, all of that. Cut it out because it's just negativity. They use clicks to get your attention for their gain while you're just negative and depressed. Thank you guys so much for watching. That was my guide for how to level up. If you can follow those things, you're on the right path of leveling up. It takes practice and consistency. You can't just do it once and expect yourself to be leveled up. You need to consistently do these things. So I recommend you write that down or something, take a screenshot or something, and just take action. Don't wait around thinking that it's just gonna happen. Take action. Make sure you like, subscribe, and check out my other videos because there's a lot of femininity and luxury talk. Thank you. Bye.